Well, hello and good day to all of my Pauper pals, my graveyard guys, and my Dredge dudes out there. Uh, it's been a while. I'm back. If you're one of the 6 or 7 people who watch me regularly, and I'm glad to be back. I went on a little summer vacation, getting my bearings, but here we are post Edge of Eternities with a nice stock dredge list for the new meta. This list is from Marza Boy. Once again, got a shout out to him every time. I'm not much of a brewer myself, but I love testing out some of these decks and some of the variations of dredge, as you can tell. Um, so what have we got going on here? First of all, don't you just love how clean this deck is? Look at the main deck. We got full play sets of all of the non-lands. So nice, clean Lotleth Giant combo. We got 4 Gnaw to the Bone. We've got our Millers here. Um, Notable, there's no Exhume, so we're not really focusing on the Exhume plan, but that allows us to play a few more lands, so we should be hitting our land drops a little more consistently. You know, previous versions of Dredge were often running like 14 lands. This runs 16, so maybe some better opening hands, better mulligans, and more consistently can curve out and cast Dread Returns and Lotleth Giants. Other interesting things going on here: Colony Garden and Holdout Settlement in the mana base. Holdout Settlement helping us generate colorful land to be able to Dread Return, flashback our Scrapwork Mutts, Ancient Grudge from the sideboard. Colony Garden helping us generate creatures to sacrifice to Dread Return, as well as creatures to tap for our Holdout Settlements. Very exciting. We've got a 1 of Mortuary Mire here, just for a little bit of creature recursion. And then the sideboard is also from a recent Marza Boy video, sideboard guide. And I really liked what he was pitching. I'm going to link it in the description below. But basically, we're focusing on, the bridge, the Jund Wildfire matchups with lots of sort of artifact exile um, or shuffle effects. And also we've got Coffin Purge to shut down the spy matchup. And of course, Not to the Bone helps us with red. So we're going to be frequently siding in and out Not to the Bone, as well as, maybe a couple Circle the Land Druids is kind of the summary. But I'm going to link that video below so you can view it in more detail. Anyway, I'm excited to get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you feel any new neurons form during the course of watching this video. And let's head on over to match number 1. All right, here we go. We're on the play. Love it, love it. This hand looks like a keep. We've got a Miller, and Scrapwork Mutt plus Stinkweed Imp is also one of my favorite Millers. We're gonna keep that. This guy's name is familiar. Somehow I feel like I've played against this fellow before. Kick things off with a Inconspicuous Forest. Make sure the stack is not behind my head. Okay, Elves. I think Elves is, well, is this gonna be Elves or Walls? I think this is a pretty tricky matchup for us, so a little bad RNG there for us, but we're gonna keep going, keep trying to hit our land drops. I shouldn't have said that. Should not have said that. We find no lands off of the Satyr Wayfinder. That's okay. We can Mortuary Mire something to the top next turn if we want. Quirion Ranger is bad for us, of course. That's big power spike for them. Okay, Priest of Titania. So we're worried about the guy who pumps. Not the most explosive start from them. So that's good, but it's still... We're still in big trouble, aren't we? I think we'd rather hit like a different land than Mortuary Mire, but let's see. Okay, Colony Garden, Holdout Settlement, Wooded Ridgeline. Colony Garden for a creature or Holdout Settlement for color for red mana. We do have the Scrapwork Mutt in the graveyard. We don't have like a dread access to a dread return yet, so I think I'll get the Holdout Settlement. Now the question is, do I want to play Mortuary Mire so I can hit an untapped land next turn? Maybe. And we can put something on top if we want. I don't think we want to. I don't think we want a troll cause a doom. I think we just want to hit our fourth untapped land in case we draw a dread return, maybe. Or if we hit another creature, we can Scrapwork Mutt plus 2-drop. Malevolent Rumble would be a cool draw as well. We don't really have much going on in the sideboard to fight them. We just have to hope that they like don't draw their life gain, don't draw their pump effect, and see if we can like combo faster. It's not easy. Lead the Stampede. What do they get? 4 creatures. Masked Vandal doesn't really hit anything. Oh, it hits our Scrapwork Mutt, so we got to be careful of that. Arbor Elf, Elvish Mystic. This is another... Oh, there's Timberwatch. Okay. Yep. This one is not looking too great. Masked Vandal, Avenging Hunter. They have the initiative. Cool, 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 cool. So we're dead. I don't think we're dead next turn, but we're probably dead the turn after, huh? I guess we have Gnaw to the Bone if we need to stall. So do we need to just mill like crazy? Scrapwork Mutt. Maybe combo. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, okay, this is right. Scrapwork Mutt, throw away Stinkweed Imp. Let's fill up the graveyard. If we hit a Dread return, we could possibly flash it back. We hit 0 creatures there. Oh, we hit 1 creature. Circle the Land Druid. Ooh, not too good. Not too good, as you might imagine. Let's do it again. We hit a Dread return. So we'll probably be bringing back... is it right to bring back a Lotleth Giant now, or wait? What are we waiting for? We don't have any other millers. If we bring back Lotleth Giant now, we'll have more creatures in our graveyard for Gnaw to the Bone next turn. I don't know if we want to like start playing out Stinkweed Imps. I guess next turn we'd be milling the Stinkweed Imp or dredging the Stinkweed Imp back. We're not going to get to 20 though. Are we supposed to get to like 5 creatures and find another Dread return? Somehow get Lotleth Giant out there? But we only have access to so many creatures, and this is going to get exiled at the end of the turn, so this could be wrong, but I'm just going to do this now. Get him down to 11, and then we might be able to win next turn, actually, if we hit some good mills with Stinkweed Imp, because we can discard this Lotleth Giant with the Scrapwork Mutt. I don't think they should be able to gain life this turn. Lotleth Giant's also a blocker, so we probably want to save that to sacrifice to a... Let's see what they do. Nyxborn Hydra is coming out. A Bestow. So we might have to block something. 15 damage. I see. We just lose. Yep, we're turn 2 slow. So I guess would Gnaw of the Bone have saved us there? Maybe, but we wouldn't have milled all those cards. We only had 4 creature cards in our graveyard, so we would have gained like 8 life. I don't even think Gnaw to the Bone would have saved us. I guess we would have had to block with everything. Yeah, bummer. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Elves. I don't think they really bother with any grave hate. Let's see. Got the list up here. Yeah, they're not gonna. They're just gonna outrace us. Mass Vandal. Yeah, these don't really do anything, so we're just gonna run it back. We're on the play, which is good. This hand is a little goopy. Ooh, we don't have green mana. That's a bummer. We could maybe find it off the scrapwork map, but seems like it's going to be too slow. I think we want to mulligan aggressively with this deck generally. All right, this hand, pretty slow, but we can put Lotleth Giant and Dread Return back, and then we'll be shuffling with the Troll. But this is not the start that we want. So this match is not going according to our plan. But maybe they'll stumble. We'll see. Who am I kidding? Elves never stumbles. It's like, I feel like I'm invading their forest, trying to, with my little cultist, trying to reanimate something. And they are, let's get a geothermal bug. Why not? But it's their forest. Arrows are coming out of the trees, hitting my wayfinders and my mutts. Okay, Priest of Titania. And a 1-drop Birchlore Rangers. Okay. You draw land. So, I mean, lesson learned from last game, maybe we need to go for a turn earlier, not to the bone than we think. Respect the Nyxborn Hydra a little bit more. Okay. Turn 3, we always want to play Malevolent. We generally want to play Malevolent Rumble. If you have it, it's one of the best turn 3 plays because that allows us to double spell. Let's see. Stinkweed Imp we want in the graveyard. Circle the Land Druid. Maybe we just want to hit our land drop next turn. I don't know if we really need the holdout settlement with both of these, so I'm going to take the Colony Garden. I guess holdout settlement helps us hit our second black mana, so maybe that was a mistake. But with Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard, we're going to start... we're more likely to find a Dread Return in the graveyard than out here. I'm going to discard Gnaw to the Bone. Dredge Stinkweed Imp. We hit 3 Satyr Wayfinder's Dread Return and Holdout Settlement. Okay. If we sack, Circle the Land Druid to Dread Return, we can get the Holdout Settlement back. Opponent's going to spit out their whole hand. They got double Quirion Ranger and the Initiative. Ew. Yeah, we're just not quite as fast with them, and we can't interact with their threats very well. They find a forest off of their secret entrance. They hardcast a Generous End, okay. So they can gain life back if they're in a pinch. Do I want Scrapwork Mutt in the graveyard? Maybe. wonder if they have an exile effect. I just want to fill my graveyard faster. I know we want to sack this Scrapwork Mutt to Dread Return potentially, but not to the bone. I don't think they can kill us this turn, so maybe we're angling for a Not to the Bone next turn. So let's try to fill our graveyard a little bit more. Hopefully find a untapped land off of the Wayfinder. We do not find an untapped land. Does Mortuary Mire do anything for us? Maybe. Yeah, because we want the second black, and maybe we can. Maybe it's worth returning another Wayfinder to the top. No, we're not going to return it because we're going to dredge the Stinkweed Imp. But I still want to get double black online in case we draw. What's it called? In case we draw Dread Return, which hopefully we don't draw Dread Return right now because it doesn't do much for us. Okay, Avenging Hunter. So our Not to the Bone is not going to buy that much time for us. Opponent finds lots of creatures, 2 Birchlore Rangers, and another Avenging Hunter. I mean, we're going to start losing pretty fast here. We would need to set up some sort of like double Lotless Giant, which the rule of thumb is you need 5 creatures out to Dread Return 2 Lotless Giants, and obviously we need 2 Dread Returns and 2 Lotless Giants in the graveyard. So I don't think we're setting that up next turn. We can, in theory, Dread Return next turn. We can land Druid plus Scrapwork Mutt and then play Colony Garden. We probably need to cast Gnaw to the Bone though. So we can Colony Garden, Scrapwork Mutt, Gnaw to the Bone. No, we can't, because we have a tap land. Opponent's just doing their thing over there. I suppose I should just F6 for their comfort. They're gaining life, putting them a little further out of reach. They're down to 2 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 12. Oh god, we had to block this, I guess. It's a bummer. All according to plan, another creature in my graveyard for Gnaw to the Bone. Yeah, I guess we're returning Stinkweed Imp. But what do we have to do? We have to cast Gnaw to the Bone just like that? It's not gonna do much for us. We do find a Lotless Giant. We really need to hit really need an untapped land right now. Colony Garden, Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, we can't. We can Dread Return Lotless Giant right now, and then we just die. So we got to do this, but this doesn't even win through anything. Yeah, this looks pretty over. Especially if they find Nyxborn Hydra. Luckily, they don't have the pump guy. How much damage is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What? 23 exactly. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Excuse me while I count. 17, 21. Wow. Okay. So we got to lose our plant token. Yeah. We're kind of just circling the drain, aren't we? Chat. Scrapwork mutt. So what's the plan? We die next turn. We can find... So we can try to hit another Gnaw to the Bone and cast that. If we hit Gnaw to the Bone plus 4 creatures, maybe we survive. We do not. We're up to 13 creatures. There's no way we can get 5 creatures on the battlefield for Dread Return because we had to keep chump blocking. Otherwise, we probably could. Yeah, a turn too slow again, I think. All right. I mean, maybe I should have been casting Stinkweed Imps. That's okay. That's a tough matchup. Let's hope for better luck in round 2. Round 2, we are on the draw, looks like, against Pie Lord. That name has a lot of aura. Like it. Okay. This hand... Somehow I'm playing this version of Dredge that has more lands, and I feel like I'm keep getting these like slow starting hands. I guess there are more tap lands. I think I will keep this though. I mean, I can't turn down, 4 or 5 different millers, plus a way to hit my land drops. Just a little slow. If we hit an untapped land, obviously we can hit our turn 2. Otherwise, we're gonna troll next turn, swamp cycle troll, and then we'll start town greetering to look for more lands, setting up a Malevolent Rumble, second town greeter type shift. Lorien revealed. Is this Dimir control? Dimir fairies or something? Yep, there's the Delver. So this should be a harder matchup than mono blue terror, but I think it's winnable. It's quite winnable. Let's get an untapped land because we already have our red, and then we will get a forest off of the Generous Ent on their turn. Let's see, do they flip their Delver? They do, revealing Mental Note. Oh, they always have it, don't they? Except when they don't. It's very nice when the Delver doesn't flip. Okay, they've got a troll. Swamp cycling, copying us. They're gonna get in for 3. No big deal if we eventually find Gnaw to the Bone, should be okay. Gnaw to the Bone is also a good way to force out counterspells potentially on their turn. Okay, turn 3, we hit our third. We have an untapped land, so I think I'm gonna go Malevolent Rumble into Town Greeter just to make up for some lost time. Let's do it. Rumble. They could have a Spell Pierce there. I guess that's a little risky. We could shut down our whole turn. I think we will take the Holdout Settlement. It's our second black source if we hit a Dread Return. And then I will cast Town Greeter. Find another Kelney Garden. We mill over a Lotleth Giant. No Dread Return yet, but we've got a Scrapwork Mutt and a Lotleth Giant in the graveyard, so things are looking up. I don't think they run any exile effects. They do mill over a Delver and a Counterspell. Obviously happy to see any creatures that they mill over because it gets them a little more slowly to their terror. But I bet they're going to start casting terrors pretty soon here. Right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 spells in their graveyard. Yep, we're taking another 3. We're gonna need to find a Gnaw to the Bone pretty soon. Looks like they left up a counter spell. One or more counter spells. I guess we want to, in case of Spell Pierce, maybe we don't worry about Spell Pierce and we're just trying to double creature here. We want a Town Greeter first in case we find a Stinkweed Imp. Troll of Khazad-dûm, we're not that far off from casting. I'm not in a rush to Swamp Cycle that. Rumble would still be good though. Let's cast Rumble. We find the Dread Return. Do we want to just hit our land drops? I think we do against control. Right? We don't mind sending Scrapwork Mutt to the graveyard because they can't counter an Unearth. We still want to find Gnaw to the Bone and we still want to find Stinkweed Imp. So in that case, I think it's time to attack with Town Greeter, and then we're going to cast Town Greeter. Rolling out the welcome wagon for them with all these Town Greeters. They generally don't want to counter those very often. Okay, we don't find a land. We do find the Stinkweed Imp. We could attempt a Dread Return right now, but then we lose our 3 creatures. I don't think now is the time. I don't think it's time. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm supposed to just fight through the counter spells. We're not far away from like setting up a double Dread Return turn though, with much better lot with giant value. They might just leave up double counterspell. We did see them mill over 1 counterspell. Let's see if they cast anything. I wouldn't mind if they tapped out to cast a bunch of terrors, but I don't think they're gonna do that. Yeah, they're just gonna pass. We will get back Stinkweed Imp. Stinkweed Imp, we might want to cast actually. There's Gnaw to the Bone. So yeah, Stinkweed Imp kind of shuts down their game plan and they might be forced, but they don't want to counter it either. So let's cast Stinkweed Imp. We've also got a Rumble in the graveyard, which we can flash back. Playing that so we can Gnaw to the Bone on their turn. Looks like they missed a land drop as well. Keep whittling them down. We're almost in a position where we can double Dread Return in 1 turn. If we find 1 more Dread Return, either by drawing it or in our graveyard, and then either Lotleth Giant will kill them. So we're going to try to do that. Okay, they're going to cast down our Stinkweed Imp. It's fine. So now there's a consideration to Scrapwork Mutt. Because if we hit another Dread Return, well, we cannot double Dread Return right now, but I think it's fine to discard that. We still only have 1 Dread Return in the graveyard. That's okay. I don't know. Maybe I should have stuck with the Gnaw to the Bone plan. Just played the long game a little better. But as it stands, like we can keep casting Stinkweed Imps. They are apparently not hitting lands. Yeah, they need to speed up their clock. Yeah, I think we're in a good position here. Stinkweed Imp. We found the second Dread Return, and we have 21 creatures in the graveyard, so, of course, with Colony Garden, we just win here. We have 5 creatures, so we have enough to sack. They have to counter this, and then we just play any creature. Probably being a little sloppy here, but Dread Return, Lotless Giant, sack for a 24 damage Lotless Giant. Boom. And not so sure. Do they run Nile Spellbomb? Since they run black, I think they can run Nile Spellbomb. Yeah, so maybe we bring in some amount of Ancient Grudge, which is, it's obviously not great at dealing with Nile Spellbomb. They crack it in response, but it prevents them from holding it over our heads. Is Mass Vandal any good? It doesn't really block. Yeah, it's more expensive. We'd rather Ancient Grudge. So the worst case scenario is they have an early Nile Spellbomb and they just hold it over our heads forever. We want to like force them to crack it early and then be able to refill our graveyard. So we can expect to run into 1 or 2 Nile Spellbombs. So I'm just gonna shave a couple of creatures here. I feel like Gnaw to the Bone is still okay in this matchup. Can buy us time if we're like chump blocking terrors, but we need to preserve creatures for our Dread Return, Flashback. This hand looks good to me. Got a couple Millers. We've got a Dread Return in hand, which is nice for a double Dread Return turn. They start with a tap land. We're obviously going to... Okay, now that we hit that, maybe we'll look for the Geothermal Bog to get red online for Ancient Grudge and Scrapwork Mutt. And we can still turn 2 Town Greeter, turn 3 tap land and another Town Greeter, or Scrapwork Mutt, depending on how things go. Let's see what you've got. Opponent is pondering their options. Let's pay attention if they shuffle or not. Sometimes, you know, if we see a lot of shuffling, they might be like digging for a Nile Spellbomb. Let's see what you can do about my graveyard, Pylord. They do not shuffle. They draw something on top that they were willing to keep. Delver, presumably they're gonna be able to flip it since they rearrange the top of their library. We're gonna grab our Geothermal Bog. Okay, if they have a Nile Spellbomb, I'd rather them get it over with now. Stinkweed Imp is great with the Scrapwork Mutt in hand. So we either need to just go fast or we need to force them to use a Nile Spellbomb if they have it. We get the Holdout Settlement, that's convenient. Another untapped land. So we can hit our turn 4 Dread Return cast if we want to. It's not that good on like a Troll of Khazad-dûm because they just cast down. A little better Dread Returning a Ent because it has reach, and at least it creates a food token when it enters. Opponent's gonna start chipping in for 3. So they've got a decent clock on us. The pressure's on. They're not gonna do anything else though. That's interesting. 4th untapped land. I almost wonder if I just cast Stinkweed Imp. The risk, of course, being that they kill it and then have the Nile Spellbomb in hand, or they counter it and now Spellbomb. But it's not the worst. And then we could stop their clock. I don't know. Let me attack first. I don't want to like blow our whole milling load yet. You know, if they have a Nile Spellbomb, this might draw it out. Or it might draw out a counterspell. It just seems like a safe play when they've got 3 untapped lands like this. They let it resolve. Might be drawing out a cast down, which would also be okay. No casts down. Okay, they're gonna brainstorm. Opponent. I think they could do a little better with their land swag. Aren't these the default islands? I mean, don't get me wrong, Vincent Price, you did a great job on the art, but just a little played out, you know? Opponent is thinking hard about their brainstorm. There's equations floating around their head. Meanwhile, I'm just casting 3-drop and passing. Opponent island cycles. Okay, so they shuffle away some cards. So they don't know what they're drawing. Securing a land drop. Very cool, opponent. Mental note. Mill over 2 lands. Nice. That slows them down a little bit, but they can start casting pretty cheap terrors if they'd like. But it'll force them to tap out of counterspell mana. Looks like they are going to attack. Interesting. Let's see if this is the Nile Spellbomb. If it is, they'll have to crack it right away. But then if they were going to do that, why not just counter the Stinkweed Imp and keep their Delver? I do not know. Oh, Angler. So they wanted to like fill their graveyard, I guess. Angler's easy to chump block. Yep, we have enough land drops, so we're just going to keep getting back Stinkweed Imp. We can almost double Dread Return, but we don't have enough creatures. We also don't have anything we're dying to reanimate yet. I mean, what's to stop me from just casting another Stinkweed Imp, running them out of counterspells, and blocking forever? Nothing. Nothing, I say. And we're hitting our land drops. It's kind of where we need to be. It seems like their game plan's not coming together that smoothly. They are at double counterspell mana, though. They need to refill their graveyard. They hit a land and a spell. Still not quite terrified of terrors myself. Cast down. Now they're off of counterspell, though. They may have spell pierce. Don't think I want to block. Ancient Grudge, kind of a dead card in our hand right now, unfortunately. Stinkweed Imp. We find another Dread Return. No Lotless Giants yet, though. Bummer. No Gnaw to the Bone either. We're at 5 mana finally, so we can... Yeah, unfortunately we can't Dread Return. Unfortunately we can't Dread Return with Spell Pierce safety. So I think our best bet is to just try to get more creatures on the battlefield. Probably Town Greeter plus Stinkweed Imp sounds pretty good. They shouldn't be able to counter it unless they have something weird like Force Spike. I shouldn't speak such things into existence. I could have led with the Scrapwork Mutt. Maybe it was correct. I was trying to find a land drop for next turn. We do find the Gnaw to the Bone, so I'm less scared about... I'm mostly scared about Nile Spellbomb at this point. Yeah, no Lotleth Giant yet. Okay. We will chip in for one, though. And they're going to have to deal with one Stinkweed Imp per turn at this rate. They can't have that many cast downs in hand, right? Okay, looks like they're setting up a terror. They mill over one spell, but surely they've got enough now, so I'm expecting 1 or 2 terrors to come down this turn. Deep analysis, okay. They're getting a little desperate, perhaps. Maybe they don't have a counterspell in hand and they're bluffing. I don't think they can attack very nicely anyway. Yep. We held them back with the Stinkweed Imp. We gotta keep digging for our Lotleth Giants. There's 3 in the deck. Should be 3. What to do? We can't avoid a Spell Pierce at this point still. Should we try to... We have 2 Dread returns, so I think I just want to find a Lotleth Giant at this point. And start running him out of counter spells. I want to play the Scrapwork Mutt from hand. I want to mill over, hopefully, a Lotleth Giant. We still don't find one. In the top 40 cards of our deck, not a single Lotleth Giant. Dredge, you are a fickle deck. We're getting in the danger zone if we hit a late game Nile Spellbomb at this point. Do I bring back a Generous Ent at this point? Start clocking in just to get some value before things go awry. Maybe, since we have like so many Dread returns, so I think I want to start getting aggressive. I want to keep the other Stinkweed Imp in hand, so I suppose we're holding up Ancient Grudge and Food Token. We could mill again, but I think they have a counterspell, so I want to kind of save it. The terrors don't look so good against this Generous Ent. I think they need like a cast down. They need to exile our graveyard and cast down the Generous Ent. Oh, or Ghastly Demise, okay. Okay, that's the last time I open my big mouth. Well, they got a ton of spells in the graveyard. What is... Oh, there's Bojuka Bog. Okay. Well, we are in trouble now. I guess I'll shoot off the Gnaw to the Bone right now. Buy us a ton of time. But really, we don't have a lot of time. Okay, they're going to cast down the Imp. Sure, we don't care about our life anymore. I guess that prevents us from... Yep. This just went to got a little bit more challenging. Now they're drawing cards. So we have two Dread Returns in the graveyard, two Stinkweed Imps. We have one Stinkweed Imp in our hand. We lost two Scrapwork Mutts. So there's a lot of juice left in our deck, honestly. But we got to be careful not to mill ourselves out. I don't think there's 15 creature cards worth, but if we can bring back multiple Lotless Giants and get like an attack in, maybe that's our plan. Of course, that's when Lotless Giant decides to show up in our hand. Oh, Dredge, never change. Of course, of course. We're just gonna cast it and pass, I think. Not loving this position now that we've drawn the Lotless Giant. I don't think they are gonna win through attacking. I think we gotta walk a delicate line between milling ourselves and decking ourselves. But let's see, they're willing to trade here, which means they might have another Bojuka Bog or Nile Spellbomb or something. If they have another Nile Spellbomb, I'd rather it be now. Okay. Oh, they're gonna troll us. Stop trolling us. But they gave us the Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard. I mean, maybe they want me to mill ourselves, but I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't. I think we need a little bit of juice in our graveyard. Okay. And we're just one land short of. Yeah, this is it. This is challenging. I want to be able to Scrapwork Mutt. I want to be able to Dread Return and then like have three creatures out to Dread Return again, ideally. I don't want to, but I don't want to cast the Stinkweed Imp before the Scrapwork Mutt comes out. Don't really like this position. I could Dread Return Circle of the Land Druid. Scrapwork Mutt. Fill our graveyard, cast Imp. And then what? And then we lose the Mutt. We do have one more Dread Return in deck, but we won't have the creatures to deal with it. I mean, do we just pass and take the hit and like see what we draw, maybe? Can't be right. We could just try to Dread Return the Lotless Giant now as a threat. There's so many more Lotless Giants left in the deck. So maybe we can get an attack in with this guy. We can't block this, so I don't really care about casting. Okay, we got a counterspell out of their hand. They're down to 2 cards. They've drawn a lot of cards this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sitting on a second counterspell. Here comes the terrors. Yeah. Yeah, just that's what happens in Dredge sometimes. If you just don't find the piece you need until late game, and then they find that late game piece of graveyard hate, it's pretty devastating. Yeah, they're attacking for a lot. Am I supposed to? I mean, they can't just do nothing, right? Can't just wait to draw cards. Just try to keep filling our graveyard. We'll probably just cast the Stinkweed Imp. Maybe I'm supposed to just draw a card rather than milling. No, we'll mill. There's more Dread Returns and Lotless Giants. Cool. I'm probably misplaying this. I mean, maybe there's like a line that I'm not seeing, but we need to like draw multiple creatures. I guess like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drawing some colony gardens would be great. Do we have any left in the deck? 2. No, we don't. No colony gardens because we milled over 2. Maybe I should be like passing and drawing cards, just like killing time a little bit. I think we need to keep the Stinkweed Imp out if we ever hope to flashback a Dread return, but I think we're pretty close to dead here. We can gain a bunch more life, sure. But if they have like 1 or 2 counter spells in hand, we're kind of done for. Murmuring Mystic. There's a land. We can almost cast Lotleth Giant, which could be good. Maybe I'm supposed to just keep drawing cards. I can double knot the bone on their turn. We draw another land, which I have no idea how many lands are left in our deck. We can cast Lotleth Giant. Yeah, we're just gonna double knot the bone here, see what happens. We're also gonna run out of time. Uh-oh. So depending on what we draw, I might just scoop up and save time for round 3 because we really shouldn't really have a good chance of winning this, especially on the play next time if we mill over the right stuff. Bunch of life. Scrapwork Mutt. We will try to cast. Could draw us into another creature, maybe. Wooded Ridgeline, okay. So we can cast Lotleth Giant next turn. And then Dread Return. So if they just don't have a counterspell, I'll make them have it, but otherwise we're pretty done for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the giant. Brainstorm. Should be saving time with that no possible play yield all. Do they find some kind of counterspell? Okay, they go down to 10. Another Lotleth Giant doesn't do it, though. I don't know. Let's see if they have the counterspell. I guess our only out would be to like Scrapwork Mutt, Stinkweed Imp next turn, and then cast it again. Oh, they have Spell Pierce. Ugh. I think I'm gonna concede. This is a slog, huh? Yeah, because now we can't flash it back. Let's just see what we draw. But I think I'll scoop it up. Unless it's something incredible. Well, what are we gonna draw? I was gonna mill back the Stinkweed Imp. 0 cards in my... Alright. Yeah, I don't think there was a way out. I guess. Guess we're gonna try it again. Yep, not to the bone. We did not. I guess we don't care about Ancient Grudge if Bajuka Bog is their thing. So maybe we want. Yeah, we had all 4 Lotleth Giants in there that game too. Bummer. We just didn't find it in the top 40 cards. It happens. But we are still favored. I think we can do this. I got to play a little bit fast, so excuse me if I start wigging out a little bit. Wasted a lot of time on that game, which should have been ours had the cards fallen in a slightly different order. But Lotleth giveth and Lotleth taketh away. In the meantime, let me disturb my cat. She's been napping next to me. I think I'd appreciate if she gave me some gameplay advice. Maybe we would have won that game, but I don't mind if she just gets some rest. Rests up for match 3, 4, 5. Okay, lock in. Lock in. Play first. It's kind of a weird hand. Can we afford to mulligan it? We're hitting land drops. I think we'll keep it. I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake. Double knot to the bone. Not great. This could be another Miller, or we could discard a knot to the bone and find something else. We've got a few draws. Opponent's going down to 6 cards. Yeah, Bajuka Bog is rough. They can just hold it till late in the game, like they might have. I think they were looking for it for a while, though. I don't. They must only have like a 1 or 2 of. Yeah, why do I have a stop on their upkeep? Okay, tap land. Okay, Colony Garden. We're gonna land Druid. Mill cards. We find Rumble, Wayfinder, Lotless Giant, Troll. Wish we found a Stinkweed Imp for the Scrapwork Mutt, but next turn we'll probably Colony Garden, cast Scrapwork Mutt, discard Knot to the Bone, see if we can draw into something interesting. Let's see, do they have a Delver? They do not. Okay, we find Town Greeter, which is cool as heck. I'm going to attack. So we're going to cast Town Greeter first. Cool, cool, cool. This hand is turning out okay. We've got 3 creatures. We find another Lotleth Giant, another Knot to the Bone. We need a Dread Return. Maybe opponent will take a risk and tap out further than they need to. If we draw a Dread Return, we cannot cast it. We don't have our second black source yet. It's a little bit sad. We can gain a ton of life with Knot to the Bone, of course. I don't think they're winning by attacking us, though. I think it'll be like last game, a well-placed Bajuka Bog and forces me into a situation where I can't do anything until I deck myself. That's the nightmare, or until I time out. I think we can do it. Okay, Delver down to 1. Rumble is pretty cool. Yes, Rumble. We find a Dread Return, and we have a Spell Pierce Protection. It will take a Circle of the Land Druid. Might be going for an early Dread Return here before Bajuka Bog can ruin our day. Let's get in for 2. Even if they block one of our creatures, we can still Dread Return. Unless they use that black removal spell. Kind of doubt it. Then we can just cast another one. I doubt they want to trade their Delver. They might consider it. Nah. Oh, they do. Interesting. Why would they do that? They give us another creature in the yard for our stuff. Oh, yes. I was like, why is Mortuary Mire targeted with Dread Return? What? MTGO. Nope. Circle the Land Druid is getting back Mortuary Mire, the only land in our graveyard, so it auto-targeted. Opponent's going to Mental Note. Get it back. We get our Lotless Giant. Hit them for half their life, almost. And then we will play another Land Druid. Set up for the next Dread Return, hopefully. Gosh, we almost have them dead to attacking. I do not know why they blocked with the Delver. Gave us some extra damage. They don't have a threat anymore. I don't know. I wish we had a second black, because then drawing Dread Return off the top would be excellent. Scrapwork Mutt is still looking a little awkward here. Opponent's going for the Terror. Lotless Giant. So what do we want to do? I think we Scrapwork Mutt at this point. See what we draw. Discard Gnaw to the Bone. And then we can decide if we want to Mortuary Mire something back. Okay. Sure. An Ent. Do I care about that? Not really. So what does that mean? Probably Mortuary Mire, Satyr Wayfinder back. Because we want to just keep digging we want to keep playing creatures and keep digging for our stuff. Ugh, of course we were gonna shuffle. I guess I won't Forest Cycle at this point, because we want to keep the Satyr Wayfinder on top. Thought Scour. Not too worried about their attackers, because we've got a plethora of Gnaw to the Bone if we need it. I think we can do this. We just need to keep dodging Bojuka Bog. No, I'm not gonna block. There's a consideration to block to get Holdout Settlement back, but I don't think it's a huge need right now. Another Terror. Okay, they've got one card in hand. I'm supposed to believe that it's a counterspell. Don't know if it actually is. No land, but we hit the Stinkweed Imp. So that gives us some inevitability. I suppose we want, at this point, the green-red land, because we hit the Scrapwork Mutt. Yep. Hope for no Bojuka Bog. Hope their one card in hand is not Bojuka Bog. We're gonna have to chump something. Unless they have a crazy Sleep of the Dead turn. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I guess we can hardcast Lotless Giant. If we want to. Because we'll get a Holdout Settlement back. But we probably need to cast Gnaw to the Bone just to make sure we survive. We do not find a Dread Return. Last game we could not find our... This game we could not find... Okay, we gain our life back. We... Probably Scrapwork Mutt. Yeah, let's just run them out of... If they have a counterspell, let's just run them out. Hopefully finding a Dread Return. We don't. Please, deck. Please. There's 3 Dread Returns in the bottom 17, it looks like. Okay. Okay. Well, we'll hit him for 2. Try not to time out here. Machuca Bog off the top would be devastating. Murmuring Mystic. We're not going to block. Okay, we have to hit a Dread Return here, surely. We hit the Dread Return. All they have is Spell Pierce, right? All they could have is Spell Pierce. So now we just Dread Return, Lotleth Giant, boom, boom, boom. Did we do it? Please. No funny business. Envelop, counter target sorcery spell. This motherfucker. Okay. Can we get 3 creatures back? Nor. So I think we cast Not to the Bone. So I guess we should have hard casted the Lotleth Giant. Whatever, we'll try it next turn. This is crazy. Ponder. They could find their Bajuka Bog. Man. Envelop. I was not expecting that. I should have hard casted. But the risk was if I hard casted and they had counterspell. They do not shuffle. Uh-oh. Does that mean they found it? Swamp Cycling, okay. Aquifer. They play the Aquifer, so no Bajuka Bog. They're just trying to wail on us. Very cool. So what do we need to do? Hitting another Dread Return. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we just try to hard cast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do they have counterspell? They're 1 card in hand. They're brainstorming for it. They're trying to run us out of time. We did it. Oh, thank God. That was a nail biter. Geez. Well, good thing we won, because I might have crashed out if we lost that to time or something. But, whew. I'm going to go do a lap around the apartment and be back for match 3. Match 3 against Raphael. We are on the play. We got a good hand. We're going to keep it. We're going to win, I hope. Yeah, this looks nice. Forest. Probably just going to find another untapped forest with a generous Ent so I can do my turn 2 play. Red. Not unhappy to see red, because now our plan is find Not to the Bone. Find Gnaw to the Bone. Let's cycle. Get an untapped land. Don't need the red quite yet. We find the holdout settlement. That's even better. We'll play that. We'll play Town Greeter. Let's go. We're cooking. We find a colony garden. Cool, cool, cool. Also stacked, we found Dread Return, which is nice. And possible reanimation target against red, because we get the food token for life gain, and it's a great blocker. Oh wow, they're gonna plot highway robbery. I think I'm okay blocking this. We're not trying to rush into a Dread Return. We'd rather save our life, fill our graveyard in case we hit a Knot to the Bone. I think we will Rumble plus Land Druid or something. Something to that effect. Rumble plus Town Greeter is probably even better. Just keep filling our graveyard. Sure, we get a swamp. Happy to see that. No Knot to the Bone yet. You tricky, tricky deck. It always gives us what we want, but not what we need. Isn't it funny how life works that way sometimes? Fiery Temper. Okay, so this is Mono Red Madness. Nice, nice. And then they've got 1 or 2 more mana to play with. Epicure. Okay, they missed their land drop, so that's nice. I guess that explains why they plotted. We can Colony Garden and and Malevolent Rumble Circle of the Land Druid. So I think let's start with Malevolent Rumble, see what we hit. Okay, we hit both of our multicolored lands. I think we'll take one of those at this point. We hit a Knot to the Bone, so that's excellent. Suppose we'll get the Geothermal Bog just so we have easy access to double black. Do we want to play that? I suppose so. Let's get him for 1. Foolish opponent. You think you're the aggressor? Fear my Town Greeter. Okay, they're going to take the block. That's interesting on their part. I guess they're getting afraid of our Dread Return capabilities. I guess I could have Dread Returned a Lotless Giant there. For some reason, I was kind of in Knot to the Bone mode. Well, no, we couldn't have because we got to sacrifice this. It's okay. We'll figure out our Lotless Giant later. I'm hoping they don't have any Grave Hate in the main deck, so if we just resolve 1 Knot to the Bone, we should be fine. Opponents maybe searching for more lands. They have a Fiery Temper. Do they aim it at our creature or our face? Neither option's that great for them. Yeah, it goes to our face. They do find the land. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll get back a Stinkweed Imp. I will cast a Knot to the Bone. I guess I could have Forest Cycled first if that's what I want to do, but I guess I'd rather have the option to hardcast that. I think now is the time to play Colony Garden. Would have been nice if we found a Scrapwork Mutt and all of that, but we did not. Yeah, this is a pretty good matchup for us, assuming we can, we're running 4 Knot to the Bone, so odds are we find it. As long as we don't completely stumble at the start and we resolve 1 Knot to the Bone, we're in pretty good shape. Gutter Snipe is dangerous, but I think it's a little late for them. because we're not that far away from doing it all. Scrapwork Mutt is great here. Probably lead on that. Probably actually should have, well, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I should have maybe not played that land so I could sacrifice the Circle of the Land Druid, get back a Colony Garden, and use that to generate another creature to double Dread Return this turn. I think that would have been probably the better play. I think we would for sure win if that were the case. Yeah, well, I think we're just one creature shy. Unless we find another Scrapwork Mutt right now. So we'll just go for it. We're not really concerned about anything. We don't find another Scrapwork Mutt. Let's try to attack in with this guy. I guess at this point we probably force cycle the Ent. Just have another creature in our graveyard. We might be like one creature short of winning. I think we're one creature short. Because this will be 18, 19 creatures, but then we'll be pulling one out, bringing the opponent down to 1 life. But I think we're going to do it in case something weird happens. Yep. So if we had not played the land there, we would have gotten our Colony Garden back here. I'll still get it back. And we would be able to double Dread Return. Because we'd have 1 extra plant token plus the Lotleth Giant. Anyway, seems like we had him dead multiple ways. In this matchup, believe in the sideboard guide, go down a couple of these and go up Ancient Grudges just to fight against any Relic of Progenitus is what they would be running. And of course, we're keeping the 4 Gnaw to the Bone in. This hand looks pretty great. We've got Colony Garden turn 1. We've got Town Greeter turn 2. Possibly we've got a Gnaw to the Bone in hand already. Looks great to me. We just have to dodge. We just have to play Gnaw to the Bone around the Relic of Progenitus. My face when... Okay, well, let's just try to get it out of the way early then. Not overcommit to our graveyard. Swamp is nice. Just play a Colony Garden and pass. So if we draw an Ancient Grudge, we can cast it right away. In fact, that might be the best draw next turn is Ancient Grudge. Just get it out of the way before we commit anything to the graveyard. Of course, things aren't always so smooth. Scrapwork Mutt plus Stinkweed Imp will be the best way to refill the graveyard after they crack the relic. So we'll try to save some of our juice for post-relic crack. There's the Ancient Grudge. So now they basically have to crack it, or we're going to make them crack it. They'll probably make us spend a mana. Unfortunately, we'll be losing a Dread Return and a Lotleth Giant, it looks like. They plot a highway robbery. If they don't have a land, then we're just getting a free Ancient Grudge off, which is pretty bad for them. They really should leave a mana up to get rid of these two. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yep, it's pretty good for us. Okay, so we're going to use the green mana for Ancient Grudge. So with the other 2 mana, we'll probably Scrapwork Mutt. And let's just try to fill our graveyard. As they could have another relic in hand, but they've only got 2 cards. So if all they have is another relic, that's pretty good for us. I mean, not good, but they just don't have a lot of spells. They must have mulliganed really low. What the heck did they do? 5 cards. Ugh. Maybe they mulliganed aggressively looking for the relic. You have been outsideboarded, Raphael. Yep, we just want to fill our graveyard so we can get a Gnaw to the Bone off. Yeah, finding another Scrapwork Mutt and a Stinkweed Imp is great. I think I want to wait on this Dread return. Next turn, perhaps. This Lotless Giant will be a lot stronger next turn. Ooh, well, I stand corrected. Maybe it's a Gnaw to the Bone situation. Okay, we find one more creature card. We could Rumble, find a land, and then be able to Gnaw. And if we don't, I don't think we're dead because they only got 1 card in hand. Let's Rumble, see if we can hit an untapped land. Don't think we want Lotless Giant in our hand. I guess there could be an argument for it if everything goes wrong. We could get back a Scrapwork Mutt right now. Not going to do it. Okay, so we've got Ancient Grudge. I guess we could blow up a blood token if we so desire, but I think it's wiser to hold it in case they find another relic. They really don't have a lot going on around there, so I'm not too pressed. They did plot the highway robbery. Looks like they have a fiery temper. Yeah, they're having to they keep missing land drops and having to plot their highway robberies. They're not really having a good go of it. Oh, they have to discard a mountain. Oh, they sacrificed the mountain instead of discarding. Okay. That's why they tapped it. Very cool, very cool. Searing Blaze. Do I want to... Why would they... Okay, I guess sacrificing this doesn't cancel the effect, but we're gonna just use that to forest cycle. I thought about tapping it for colored mana to, shoot down the blood token, but I might as well keep the Ancient Grudge. I'm not too worried about the blood token at this point. They do have us down to pretty low life. They don't know that we have a Knot to the Bone in their hand. They might be tasting a hint of hope right now. Lava Dart. Yep. They do have us quite low. Ooh, Scrapwork Mutt was a good draw, because I was just about to say, I'm willing to flash back a Scrapwork Mutt, get in 2 damage, even though we're not getting Dread Return sacrifice value out of it, but this is even better because we want to fill our graveyard just a little bit more. So this Gnaw to the Bone packs a bigger punch. Yep. And then we just got to get to 3 creatures and then we're doing pretty well. Oh yeah, let's not use the one in our hand. Let's just use the one in our graveyard. Gain a bunch of life. A single tear rolls down the opponent's cheek. So next turn we can scrapwork, Dread Return, Lotleth Giant. That should do it, especially if they're spending their turn blood tokening. I mean, it might not literally kill them, depending on what creatures we mill over, but it's got to be close. Lava Dart on Scrapwork Mutt. Okay, maybe they set us back a turn. Sure. They're doing everything they can. Playing their outs. Can't fault you, Raphael. Troll of Khazad-dûm. I wish it was an untapped land. Then we could maybe triple Scrapwork Mutt. But alas. So I guess in this case, we want to Stinkweed Imp. So next turn we can double Scrapwork Mutt, and then we'll also hold the Troll land cycling. Yeah, we've only got 2 red mana, so we can only ever double Scrapwork Mutt in a turn. So they got to shoot down the Stinkweed Imp, I guess. All the while we're crawling closer to victory. The danger is, of course, they find another Relic of Progenitus. That would really slow us down. They can't attack. They're kind of stuck doing not much. 1 card in hand. Oh, I should have taken the Geothermal Bog for some inevitability. However, Satyr Wayfinder now makes me not regret my decision. Colony Garden also does the trick. Unearth him. Is this enough creatures? Let's see what we mill. We're almost to 0 cards in the library, so I guess the risk is not winning here, and I think we're 1 damage short again. Yeah, I think we're 1 damage short. Oh wait, no, we're not. Yeah, we are. I was gonna say we could. Oh yeah, let's attack for 1 in the air first. That'll do it. We figured it out. We counted to 19. Unless opponent burns this right now. But 4 damage. They could figure that out. They could do the math. They take the 1. Okay, now when we sack these, it'll be lethal. Exactly lethal. Whew. Thank God for flying. Okay, there you go. You see that the red matchup is quite good, which is a relief playing MTGO for how often we run into red. Let's see if we can keep the magic going to match 4. Round 4, on the play. Mulligan. No lands, can't keep it, of course. We'll try to keep this hand. We will try to keep this hand. I think we'll piece it together. We got to put 1 card back. I suppose that would be Colony Garden. So I want a black source. I want the Stinkweed Imp Scrapwork Mutt. Wombo Combo, and Circle the Land Druid is the only self-contained miller here, so we'll have to just make do with one garden. I don't know how wise people are to the gardens being dredged, so maybe there's like a slight novelty factor still. I'm happy if we're against another red deck. Matchups you're really hoping for with this deck are red and any red and mono blue terror. I think we get a Scrapwork Mutt down. If you ever run into Spy, post sideboard, obviously the our Exile, our Grave Hate does quite well against them. See what they do. I led with Scrapwork Mutt to maybe fill our land with more lands. Fill our graveyard with more lands for Circle of the Land Druid, and also it's a more aggressive attacker. Another highway robbery plotter. I feel like this is the more plottings than I've seen in a while in a row. But looks like we're gonna get in for 2. We get to hit our land drop without cycling the troll, which means we can cast Druid and then cycle the troll during our opponent's turn. Boy, did we hit a lot of lands with that last mill. We'll keep them guessing, leave the holdout settlement untapped. Circle of the Land Druid, always asking consent to mill cards. Very polite. Very woke. Woke queen. We found a Gnaw to the Bone, so things are looking up. See what opponent does with their big plot turn. They can start hurling spells at us, I suppose. I kind of don't mind if any of our stuff dies. Okay, they're setting up a Gutter Snipe, so next turn we're going to take a Walloping, I imagine. Let's see if we can see what we can do. Take a Swamp. Okay, so we already lost the red land. Malevolent Rumble is pretty good, because that lets us potentially Rumble plus Gnaw. Let's Rumble first, in case we hit another like Scrapwork Mud or something. We will keep Town Greeter. 6 creature cards. We've got 2 Gnaws. Do we think opponent can do 20 damage in one turn? 5, 10, 15. I don't think so. I mean, it's possible if they have like land, bolt, 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 or equivalent. I could just like Gnaw now to be safe, and then I have another one, but I'd really rather keep developing my game plan, right? I don't think they can do 20 damage in one turn. And this makes my other Gnaws faster. We're not that worried about Grave Hate at this point in game 1. So let's see. Let's see, they can do their worst here. But if they can't kill us here, oh, they're plotting the highway. They saved the highway robbery for this turn. Okay, well that is gonna hurt. Can they actually do it? That'll be pretty bonkers if they can do it. Fiery Temper. Should skip through the turn. I mean, maybe I should have gnawed. This could be a big mistake. They have 3 bolts, they can do it, or Lava Dart hurts. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is just my inexperience. They actually did it. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we should. All right, all right, all right. That was my mistake. Oops, what am I doing? My mistake. Underestimated the gutter snipe. Wow, so we really needed to have it then, huh? Yeesh. I should have recognized the highway robbery plot. Opponent plotted it plotted their whole plan right in front of me, and I didn't see it. That's a bummer. Because if we had just gnawed, then we would have been home free to gnaw every turn and keep filling our graveyard. Shoot. Well, still in our favor, but now we've got to win 2 games against Relic of Progenitus. This hand's really not fast enough. I think I need a mulligan. Yeah, we'll keep this one. And we need to find Knot to the Bone, I guess, if they have a start like that. That was kind of a bonkers. They could have done like almost 30 damage, I feel like. If they had done their full Fire Blast or Lava Dart thing. Okay, we got to put 1 card back. We need our lands. Probably a Troll. Maybe we keep the Troll and put the Ent back. So we have black mana. We might be finding the black-red source. Although I don't know, maybe we want to hit the turn 3 Gnaw. But given that, I mean, turn 3 Gnaw won't do that much for us, right? Maybe I'm getting too cocky again. There's Ancient Grudge. Okay, that's nice to have as backup if Relic decides to pay us a visit. I'm glad we got the red source. More Scrapwork Mutts. No Knot to the Bone yet, so we got to find that still. Let's see what they got. Grab the prize, Sneaky Snacker. Okay. So that's how it's gonna be. Opponent. Flyers. How original. Stinkweed Imp. Excellent. That means we can start digging for Knot to the Bone. Of course, let's poke our opponent in the eye with our Town Greeter. Let's play Scrapwork Mutt and start the milling. Please. I really wish we found Knot to the Bone there. We could be in trouble if they have another explosive turn 4 next turn, because there's no way we can get non. Well, I guess we milled over another Stinkweed Imp, so we might find it on the Dredge. We'll have to see what they do. If they cast a Gutter Snipe now, I'm pretty scared. Flame Breather is not as scary. Okay, so maybe we've got a couple turns to find the Gnaw. We don't find it there. Yeesh. We'll play our Land Druid. Maybe there's an argument for playing Stinkweed Imp out. No, we want to find Knot to the Bone. We found it. Now we got to dodge Relic of Progenitus for a turn, which gives me a little bit of concern. Otherwise, we will fire off that Gnaw first thing next turn. Let's see what they got. Land. Still looking for a Dread return. We're in decent shape. If we can dodge Relic. If they have Relic, we're in pretty big trouble because we don't have a great way to refill our graveyard. 2 Stinkweeds in hand, but the Scrapwork Mutts are mostly in our graveyard already. They're calculating over there. Gonna go in for an attack. Just the flyer. They don't want to risk a double block. It tells me they might not have a relic, so they're not trying to fill our graveyard. Maybe they don't want to give us a land with the druid. Okay, we untap. We're able to get Gnaw to the Bone. Just wonder if I should like attack with the land druid to try and hit a land drop. Of course they know what I'm doing. That might be why they were keeping their guys back, to avoid killing this guy. But I don't know, I'm happy to get a damage in. Sad we're missing our land drops. But gaining 20 life is nothing to be too upset about. But I really want to draw a 4th land somehow. Because then we can like double Scrapwork Mutt and go for the win, potentially. Otherwise, we're kind of fizzling out here. They're going to outpace that Gnaw to the Bone in a turn or two, perhaps, with these Flame Breathers. Sneaky Snacker. Yeah, we might still be dead next turn, depending on how much, like, card advantage they're able to generate. If they have a lot of, like, grab the prize, that could be bad for us. Lava Darts ping us for quite a bit. They've got a lot of mountains to sacrifice. They don't want to risk losing any of those guys. Is it worth playing Stinkweed Imp? Okay, Holdout Settlement is cool. So we can Scrapwork. We can either just cast Dread Return on a Lotleth Giant, hit them for 9, or we can Scrapwork, see if we hit another Dread Return. If we do, we can Scrapwork again and Dredge again. Or if we don't hit a Dread Return, we can discard this Dread Return. Can they kill us? I guess finding other like Gnaws to the Bone could be good. We might just, I don't know. I think we have a higher chance of like possibly winning if we do it this way. Because then we'll get to swing in for some amount as well. Yeah, we hit another Dread Return. If we hit another Lotleth Giant, we can double Dread Return. Lotleth Giant. We don't hit another Lotleth Giant. We have 13 creature cards in the grave. Do I want to attack? We did find another Knot to the Bone. We attack, they block. Take 4. Yeah, I guess we attack. I guess they could zap a creature and prevent our dread return. Maybe it's stupid. Okay, they gave us back priority. That should do it. We'll take a Colony Garden in case something weird happens. If they had a burn spell, they could have blown us out there by shooting one of our creatures in response or before damage, and then we wouldn't be able to flash back our dread return. But then we're still in a good position for next turn. But they could have bought themselves some time to draw into Relic of Progenitus. So I kind of wonder why they didn't do that, but maybe it was a little sloppy on my part to give the opportunity for that. But I guess we won the game with the extra damage. So let's go to match 3. Whoa! I just tried to pet my cat. She freaked out. Must have scared her awake. Midna. Her name is Midna. For any of you Twilight Princess Zelda fans out there. It's the best game. It's the best Zelda game. Twilight Princess truthers rise up. Okay. I don't know. This hand's a little slow, huh? We can turn 3. Like, it's good in terms of filling our graveyard, but we're not like milling at all until turn 3. Might be a little slow. I feel like I should mulligan. This is also seemingly good, but it's actually bad because remember, we don't have Haunted Mire in our deck, so we can't find a green source off of this. We would need to play a creature to be able to hit a green source. So we might just have cooked ourselves here. I guess we'll keep this. We should have kept the first hand in hindsight. Because now we don't have a green source and we're going down to 5 cards. Boo. Let's see if we can put something together. I guess we should have kept the first hand. I don't know. I'm just scared. That first game, we hadn't done anything till turn 3, but find lands, we wouldn't have had a chance. We're also on the draw this game, so kind of through the first game, which puts us at a disadvantage when things like this happen. We might lose the match because of it, but that's what happens. That's what happens. We learned. Fire off that Knot to the Bone, sometimes even if you think you won't need it. Grab the prize, discarding Lava Dart. Very cool. Not the best grab the prize, but it's something. I mean, at least we can Scrapwork Mutt into Stinkweed Imp next turn. Try to find a Knot to the Bone so that if we find a green source, we're in better shape. Yeesh, this is like a worse version of the second hand we drew. Just kept getting worse and worse. We have a lot of green sources in the deck, so especially when you consider the Ent. So hopefully we can find something, piece it together. Opponents, okay, a little bit of an awkward start. Discarding things not in quite the right order, but looks like they found the Sneaky Snacker. They're not going to get it back this turn. They have a lot of Lava Darts in the graveyard, so we'll have to remember that. Once they find a Gutter Snipe or a Kessig Flame Breather, that's going to hurt. They discard a Gutter Snipe, which probably means they have another one in hand. So we might be dead in like 2 turns, considering the lava darts. So we need to do something. We need to hit Not to the Bone now, and then we need to just top deck green source. We do hit Not to the Bone. We hit 2 Not to the Bones. Not a lot of creatures. We have a lot of green sources. Please, 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 please. There's a Gutter Snipe. As predicted. A Monkey's Paw curls and gives us a tap to green source. That's a little bit rough. Nothing we can do about it, I guess. But that means when we do cast Not to the Bone, we're only gaining 6 life, which is not really enough to outpace anything that our opponent is doing. Guess we'll get in. Maybe it's a mistake. Midna, what do I do? Midna, what do I do? Did you see my opening hand, Midna? It was horrible. Okay, opponent's got a big turn. I think we just have to F6 and pray. My therapy cat can bring me comfort for this horrible loss. Sneaky Snacker. Lava darts are 3 damage each, so they have us effectively down to 3 life. If they have 1 burn spell, they... Well, and the festivities is really good too. Yeah, looks like they got there. Bummer. All right. Well, there's nothing we could have done that game. Game 1, we learned our lesson that you're not safe even if you have 20 life if there's a Gutter Snipe on the field. Ah, well. Should be a good matchup generally, but didn't go our way that time. Let's close it out strong though in match 5, shall we? Let's see what we have here. It's a keepable hand. Couple of millers. We got our land drops. We're on the play. Feeling good compared to that last game. Yeah, we'll just start with a Colony Garden. See what happens. I was trying to think if there's a way to like hit a 3rd untapped land with Malevolent Rumble, and now it is. Now that we've drawn Holdout Settlement, it's going to be Scred. Is it? Is it Scred? Is it? Is it? Ha 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 ha. By God, that joke has never been made before. What an innovative young man. Oh, it's it's Tron. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna bring in all of our artifact hate. Get to try that out, perhaps. I think it's a Rumble. If we found another Miller, we'd be able to do something with it. Sure, we'll keep that guy in hand. We will probably... Let's see, we have a Dread Return in Graveyard, huh? No way to get this Lotleth Giant in the grave. But I guess I'll play a Holdout Settlement so I can start cycling some of these creatures into the grave. Prophetic Prism. Opponents doing their thing. They have their second piece of Urza. I suppose I will grab a Black Source just to make casting Dread Return a little bit easier. We can start milling with Stinkweed Imp. We got to worry about main deck. I don't know. Relic? They probably don't have Nile Spellbomb if they're not running black, so maybe Relic. I'm not that familiar with this variant of Tron. I haven't played since Cryogen Relic came out against Tron, so we'll see how this goes. I want to find a Scrapwork Mutt so I can discard this Lotleth Giant and start cooking with that. Our hand is kind of not doing that much, unfortunately. Too many land cyclers. I already played a land this turn. I should have played the tapped land, I think. I don't even think it's worth... I guess it's worth casting Stinkweed Imp. Yeah. So we got another one in the grave. Crystal Grotto. Cut all the colors. You've really got nothing going on? We have enough colored lands. I'm just going to get untapped sources. Stinkweed Imp. Please find a Scrapwork Mutt. I was saying we have full play sets of everything, yet we keep finding things in a little bit of an awkward order, but that's Dredge for you. This could be such a strong start if our mills were just a little bit different. Instead, we're kind of doing nothing, and that makes me scared because opponent is going to start doing something soon. I guess we can hardcast. An Ent right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or do we want to be able to hardcast a Lotleth Giant next turn? I guess I want to Dread return Troll. Pulse of Marasa. They're returning it to my hand? Okay. Interesting. Because they have nothing in their graveyard to target. So they're having an awkward start too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could just hardcast this then. So if I get one attack in, 1 or 2 attack, yeah, they're like out of range of the Lotleth Giant now. If I can get an attack in with this guy, it could 2 attacks and then we're ready to cast Lotleth Giant maybe. All the while we're milling, we keep milling. I'm a little worried about Grave Hate. Ardent Elementalist. Getting back Pulse of Marasa. Okay, so we got to watch out for that. I'm kind of glad we cast this guy. We find another Dread Return, which is not that effective against Pulse of Marasa. So I think we're just going to be hard casting Lotleth Giant at this point. Let's get in for 6. They're going to start looping some stuff, I imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess we got to play Colony Garden. Do we cast a Stinkweed Imp? I suppose. We get to stun our troll. Bummer. Ew, they're starting to gum us up. If we had just a little bit of a faster start, they would be very dead right now. Draw a card. They have not found Tron yet, so maybe... Suppose that's what they're looking for. Oh yeah, they have. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not really watching. Tron just does their thing. There's Weather the Storm. Okay. Boo. Grindy ma- Okay, I gotta start, like, watching my time, I guess. And they don't have Pulse of Marasa mana up? Is that true? So do I need to Dread Return something right now? Rather than hard casting this? I can hard cast it for 11, or I can... Right? Crazy. I mean, maybe this is silly. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Land Druid. Prohibit. Seems like a waste of a prohibit. That was just kind of a junk spell to fill my graveyard. Okay. I try to play a little faster, I suppose. $12 damage. Shh. I guess I'll cast another one of these. We're not hitting a lot of our Dread Returns. We've got, what, 3 Dread Returns, 2 Dread Returns, and 3 Lotleth Giants in our bottom 20. Grave Hate right now would be pretty bad. I suppose they want us to just mill ourselves out. Okay, Ghostly Flicker, 1,000,000 cards. Bajuka Bog. Boo. Okay, we might lose now. Ugh, what a headache to play against, eh? They still have a Cryogen Relic. Moment's Peace. I suppose they should have let me attack first before casting that, but the effect is nearly the same. I have a feeling I'm just going to deck myself, I guess. What am I to do? But they cannot cast Pulse of Marasa right now. There's a Lotleth Giant, but nothing really else to do with it. Ugh, what a drag. We just need to be a little faster in the early game. This might have gotten away from us. God, that's so many cards. And then a second Ardent Elementalist so they can start getting back Moment's Peace and Weather the Storm every turn, I suppose. I guess that sounds like we probably lose. And Bajuka Bog. Ay. All right. I'm going to concede. They've got us. So this is whenever it leaves the battlefield. Yeah. They don't really have that many good like artifact targets for us to remove. They won't be running Relic. They'll just be running. I guess this is like a Grave Hate kind of matchup, and we don't care about Gnaw to the Bone, because then we can just get rid of their Flicker targets, or their Ardent Elementalist targets, and I don't think they're Grave Hating. I think they're just Weather the Storming, and a lot of their artifacts aren't that great to get rid of. Helps them color fix, I guess, but they've already gotten the draw value out of it. So we're gonna try it like that, and we just need a bit of a faster start, I think. Coffin Purge, faster start, draws 2 tap lands, but we have millers. I think we'll try it. We have a sideboard card, we have lands to cast 2 millers. Presumably we'll draw into something else. Wow, they're mulliganing to 4. They're really looking for Bajuka Bog, I guess, because you see how fast they did that? I don't know. Maybe it'll bite them. Because if they do, or Weather the Storm, maybe, they do mulligan that far. We'll see. We'll see what they did. Let them cook. Let them cook. Tron. Hot take. I don't love playing against these loopy ghostly flicker decks. Anyone else? No, they're a cool part of the game and the format. It's just not my personal preference to play them, so I'm always on the other side of the table or the computer screen in this case, and just that feeling of like, ugh, it's gotten away from me. Kind of a downer, eh? I suppose we are going to Colony Garden, and then we're just going to Troll Cycle here. And we'll get in with our plant token to send a message. That's right, opponent. I'm inside your head. Do you feel that tickle on your leg? That's my plant. I've sent it to kill you. Opponent gets to draw a card. They're piecing together Tron. Let's get a black source. I'm going to get an untapped source so I can double spell. Oh, and we draw the Geothermal Bog anyway. That's kind of cool. Rumble. Why does this move around every time? Weird. Too many Coffin Purges. The jig is up. Opponent knows what we're doing. It's not that good yet. Let's try to mill again. See if we can find something more interesting. Scrapwork Mutt is more interesting. Dread Return. We can Dread Return an early troll here. Is that good? I think it's good. And it lets us get back this forest. If we can start swinging in before they can like weather the storm too much, it's pretty good for us. And they do not have Tron, it seems. Do we want to Scrapwork Mutt now? We don't have much else going on. Okay. Oh, we can't. So we don't have red mana. Okay. So I guess we're just getting in with Troll and playing a Stinkweed Imp. Ugh. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I'll play Stinkweed Imp since I've got 2 in hand. Not sure that I want to cast these yet because I can hard cast them. Cryogen Relic, annoying. But okay, so they can stun it. But that's not exactly what they want to be doing with their mana. They're having trouble finding Tron, which I never see. Tron always finds Tron, so maybe there's an opening. We can Scrapwork Mutt, try to keep the damage pumping. And if we find a Dread Return, we could make something happen here. We do not. Then I suppose we're attacking. I'll play a Colony Garden. And then just hold up Land Cycler / Coffin Purge. She probably won't land cycle though, because we've got 6 mana, so we can start hard casting these. So I suppose I'm just holding up. Here comes Bojuka Bog, eh? Boo. Or are they going to find their Tron land? They find the Tron land, okay. Energy Refractor. What can they do this turn? Because they're going to take a big hit. Ardent Elementalist. But we get to Coffin Purge whatever they target, right? But then they could flicker it. Hell no. I'm not going to let them get a Bojuka Bog. They might be able to counter it. They are. Oh, Ghostly Flicker. Okay. Oh, so annoying. So now they have Ghostly Flicker plus Bojuka Bog. Darn. Crop Rotation. Here comes Bojuka Bog. Okay. Two more mana. But we get to get in with Troll, and we get to hardcast another Troll, perhaps. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to leave up Coffin Purge. What could they do? We don't care about a graveyard. They could get back Ghostly Flicker. They don't have much in their graveyard that I'm scared of right now. So maybe we cast the Troll. They've got 2 cards in hand, so that's not a lot to work with. But got a lot of mana, so let's see if they can deal with 2 Trolls. 3 cards, infinite mana, and they need to deal with 2 Trolls. They can get back Ghostly Flicker, and then they can loop Ghostly Flicker a few times for infinite exiles or mana, I guess. So maybe I should have left up Crop Rotation or Coffin Purge. Are they able to do... What are they able to do? Can they just make infinite mana and like Lorien Revealed forever? I don't think so. Oh, this is exhausting. So they can make infinite mana 1 at a time? Or... No, they're just breaking even? Oh, they can weather the storm. Okay. Annoying. And now we can get them with the Coffin Purge, I suppose, and we can keep attacking. So it's not over yet. They should have gone further probably with the. They think they have an infinite combo. They should have gone further. They don't know about the Coffin Purge in my hand. Does playing Generous Ant really do anything? Because they'll just chump block. So I think I'd rather keep up double Coffin Purge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. But I can indeed play that. And I can hold up double Coffin Purge. Turn off auto yields in case something weird happens. Okay. Ghostly Flicker. What do they target? They have a counterspell in hand. We are in trouble, but other than that, we could be in good shape here to sneak a victory by them with Trolls of Khazad-dûm. Black, black. Tap the plant. The very same plant that attacked them in the early game. That's my headcanon. Coming in clutch. Okay, we got rid of some key cards there. Yeah, they could have flickered like more infinitely. Technically, they could have, if this was in paper, they could have just been like, loop this a million times. Gain a million life. Oh no, they can Moment's Peace. This deck is so annoying. Prevent all combat damage. Cool. All right, so they can flash that back and get another Ghostly Flicker or a Weather the Storm. For all they know, we could have another Coffin Purge in hand. Let's let them believe that. Mystical Teachings for Ghostly Flicker. Does that quite do it, though? If they have Ghostly Flicker, they can get back infinite Moments pieces, I guess. So we'll never attack again. And okay, so we can't attack anymore. So what do we do? What's our out? I don't know if we have one. This deck is so annoying. Moment's Peace. Yeah, our out is to like Town Greeter into something, into like multiple Dread Returns. Like 2 Dread Returns and a Lotleth Giant that allow us to, and like a Stinkweed Imp, or sorry, a Scrapwork Mutt that allow us to like sacrifice multiple creatures. If we mill Dread Return, Stinkweed Imp, Lotleth Giant, and a creature, maybe there's a chance. Or Coffin Purge, I guess, is an out. There's Lotleth Giant and nothing else that we needed. So now they can get back Bajuka Bog. Yep. I think that was our chance. Oh, what a way to fizzle out against Tron. Moment's Peace, Ghostly Flicker, Impulse. Yeah, now they get to actually proactively find more cards. They can flicker Bajuka Bog whenever they want. We'll see what we draw, but I think we're donezo. We need to hit like a crop rotation or something. Oh, sorry, corpse. I can never remember the name of that card. Coffin Purge. Satyr Wayfinder. We can, if the thing that happened that I said would happen last turn happens again, we could do something. Nope, that's not quite it. We can try. Rumble. Okay, there's Dread Return. Is this actually possible? If we mill over a second Dread Return and a second Lotleth Giant, maybe. Wait, do we do it? Or can they? I don't think they can flicker. Dread Return, Lotleth Giant, sack 3, real creatures. Exaxes? Oh, woo! Oh my god. We really thread the needle, huh? Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. All right. Well, the jig is up. They know about Coffin Purge. This does not feel like a great matchup, but we could get lucky again. We could get lucky. I suppose I'll keep this. I don't like the double tap land start, but it's got millers. We're on the draw, though. Okay. Well, no matter how this match goes, I feel a little giddy that we won that last game. That was kind of funky. Of course, it was in paper. Opponent gains a million life, and this never happens. But this is online, and opponent can only they got to watch out their carpal tunnel. They can't click too many times. Okay, they've got an upkeep stop. Ah, psychological damage. What are they gonna do on my upkeep? Still a couple turns away from Tron. Lotless Giant, second draw is not where we want to be. So you know what? I'm gonna torment them back with my plant token. Impulse. They go digging for something to ruin our day. Expedition map. Will they find a Tron land? Will they find Bajuka Bog? Who knows? Okay, we need to. We could attempt to rumble into an untapped land. It would have to be an untapped green, which we only have 3, or a holdout settlement. So we have seven hits to double spell this turn. Otherwise, we can like Wayfinder plus Mortuary Mire. Maybe it's worth, and if not, we can double spell next turn with the token. Yeah, we don't find it. That's okay. We will take the Colony Garden. We will draw a. Oh no. We should have played the Colony Garden, so we have double green next turn. Shoot. Well, we might be playing Scrapwork, discarding Lotless Giant. Yeesh, I don't know. Yeah, this version of Tron doesn't seem to need to rush into Tron as quickly, huh? Pajuka Bog, okay. We're not losing anything too crazy, but it's flickerable now, which is sad. So we know what we're drawing. Town Greeter. I guess we'll tap like this. Guess we should have played Town Greeter to keep the information secret. I will play Colony Garden now. Yeah, we should have had double green up there. That might be critical. But I don't mind getting a Lotleth Giant to the graveyard. I just noticed our time is running low. That's something. Okay, opponent. I don't know if they're like trying to weather the storm, maybe. Probably should have milled pre-combat in case there were any scrapwork mutt shenanigans. Weird that they didn't play anything. Very suspicious. We hit a Coffin Purge. I think I want to... Circle the Land Druid. Yeah. Mill 4, yes we do. Dread Return. Lotleth Giant. Hold, and then we've got Coffin Purge. Get back a forest. Okay. Yep. Figured they probably did. They only had 3 cards in hand. So I thought maybe there was a chance. Okay, I guess we gotta fire off Coffin Purge now. At Ghostly Flicker. Bummer. We're losing a lot of good stuff there. But they only had 3 cards in hand. I guess I thought it was worth trying, but maybe them being fully untapped was a signal. I thought maybe they were like gonna weather the storm on us. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're close to casting the Lotleth Giant. We've got ways to refill our graveyard. They're slowly getting closer to Tron. Oh, Dread Return. Okay. Possible I should have... I'm playing a little sloppy now that I'm running low on time. Possible... Okay. Next turn we can hardcast Lotleth Giant. We can hold up Coffin Purge. They're down to 16. I don't know. They're having kind of an awkward start. I think the clock is the biggest threat right now. But I can't F6 because of Coffin Purge. Ardent Elementalist. They're targeting Impulse. They must know that we're going to do this. Coffin Purge is barely keeping us hanging on. Stinkweed Imp. Okay. So we can Lotleth Giant. I'm gonna save the hard cast because they don't have Bajuka Bog Flicker mana right now, I don't think. Oh no. Wait, I think we could have won if we... Shoot. Moment's Peace. Okay. Dread Return, Lotleth Giant. Sack, sack, sack. Shoot. Hold out settlement. Can't do anything else. Darn. Yeah, if we had done something differently, I think we could have we scrap worked, discarded Lotleth Giant into the graveyard. I think we could have double, what's a who's it? But they might not have a Ghostly Flicker. Moment's Peace flashback. Sure. Coffin Purge. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Can they do anything about that? Mystic Teachings. So they can get anything they want. They can flicker. Running out our clock. Frickin' Tron. Ardent Elementalist targeting Lorien revealed. I think that's smart by them. I think I have to target the Ghostly Flicker. But they can just get back. I guess I should have targeted Mystic Teachings? Is that what I should have done? I'm not thinking clearly. Oh, this game has just gotten away from us. Maybe. They can flash that back. Okay. They get back Mystic Teachings, but they can't cast it. Oh, and Weather the Storm. Jesus. So depressing, dude. Ah, this time pressure. Blocking. Surely they have us by now. Pulse of Marasa. Ardent Elementalist. Pulse of Marasa. Now they're just running us out of cards. Yeah, this is pretty over. Oh. Yeah, so that one turn I had to Scrapwork Mutt, discard the Lotleth Giant into the graveyard, and then I think I could have hardcast Dread Return and also flashback Dread Return for a double Lotleth Giant, and I think we would have won the match. So a little bit of a punt on my part, but I'm just a little bit under pressure here with the time constraint, and there's a lot of there's a lot of spells bouncing around, but at least we know in our hearts that we won. Of course, then they would have gained like infinite life in the previous match, and that was kind of a fluke. So probably just gonna wrap this up. I'll draw one more card and see what happens. But yeah, they can Weather the Storm. We've got 2 Weather the Storms going. Let's pack it up. All right. Okay. Well, 2 and 3. A little sloppy on my part, of course. That one match against Burn was very winnable. I think I just had to fire off that early Gnaw to the Bone and respect the Gutter Snipe. And then that last match may be winnable. Not a great matchup, but winnable if I had took a breath and waited and figured out what was going on. But other than that, you could see that it was quite strong against red, quite strong against the Terror deck, and that's what we're aiming to do. We didn't get to see these come into play, but if you watch the sideboard video by Marzaboy down below, they come in for like Jund, especially. You bring a bunch of these things in and start shooting down their lands and whatnot. Anyway, that was fun. It's great to be back on Dredge. Um, I'll probably be playing more graveyard decks and more other things soon. So, like and subscribe if you want to be in the know when those come out. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.